Hi everyone, my name is Anthony Cummins, I'm a historical researcher and author, and today I'm going to talk to you about the fallacy of test cutting. Now many people think when they do a test cut, they think, oh, let's look at the object we are cutting, and they automatically get in their head that if you don't cut through it, it's failed. But if you look at the word failed and test cut, it doesn't actually make sense. You can't fail to cut something, unless you actually don't cut it at all, then it's a fail. But what we see as a failure is something that's gone half the way through or a quarter of the way through. And I've looked at some of these test cuts and I've seen that what people consider a failed test cut is actually possibly double, 3 to 4 times the width of a sword blade. So what I'm going to do today, I'm here with my sister, who I'll introduce in a minute, and I'm going to put makeup on and show you just how damaging it would actually be to have a failed test cut with a sword go deep into your body. So let's explore the wounded man.
Hi guys, so my name's Claire Louisa and I'm Anthony's sister, unfortunately. And what we're going to be doing today is some different makeup techniques just to really enhance his sword fighting adventures. So I'm going to be using some sculpt gels and some different moulds, create some nice gore effects. So I'm actually doing it at university at the minute. I do have quite a love for dead bodies and blood and gore, so hey!
What most people don't understand is there's a bias here. I'm going to put the name of the bias, and there's a link to a video down below with 12 of them. And the idea is that when you set yourself up for something, you automatically assume that as a level. So for example, if something costs £20 in your mind and you get there, but funnily enough it only costs 15, you're happy. Or if you think it's going to be £20 but it ends up being £40, you're depressed. So when people are performing test cuts with swords and they're coming down, the audience watching automatically sees the width of the test cutting object and thinks, they have to get through it. So if you cut into it and you don't get all the way through, then people are disappointed. Whereas if you took the same sword swing and you halved the size of the test cutting object before you show it to the audience, the same sword stroke will get through it, people are like, that's good, he got through it. So it's your bias when you are thinking it's a test or a failed test cut. It's just not true in the slightest. So one of the most important things is this: when you're test cutting, there's no such thing as a fail unless you fail to break the skin of a human. Every single cut, no matter how deep it goes, will have a physiological effect on the human body. So it is our job today to discover just how much effect that will be. Right, as you can see, we've gone through this muscle, the sword's come in, it's bit down, and we've talked about the push-pull cutting, that's going to come down. All this muscle structure here is going to pretty much come away from the ligaments if it's deep enough. If you look at the test cuts, it's clearly deep enough. That's actually quite shallow. It would be going right through to the bone or chipping the bone. And we often see on skeletal remains them hitting the bone. Right guys, what we've got here is a wound to the hand. Now remember, in the archaeological evidence it says that when people have they've not been able to block or they've lost their weapon, they will use their hands to defend themselves as a last-ditched attempt. And remember, we're testing today cuts that have connected with the human body. So that is what would happen to the hand. You'd probably use all mobility, motor functions in the hand. If you had anything left, it would be these 2 fingers, but it would be a devastating blow to take, and I think it would really incapacitate a fighter. So imagine you've come in to strike and somebody is connected on this side with a wound like that. You're pretty much out of the fight, or you're fighting left-handed. Up until now we've done exterior cuts, i.e. we've done the hand and we've done the arm. But what if the swordman's are actually connected with the place he wants to connect with? So in this example we've got the carotid artery. So the sword's come in, it's gone down straight in, you've gone a couple of inches in, you're absolutely dead here. Now I know we've talked about the push-pull cut, and we've talked about that. If you can land that on the side of someone's neck, around the carotid artery, and pull, it's dead, it's game over. So there's no need to go all the way through the target. When you have this bias that you need to get through the target, it's the idea that, you're gonna kill them. This is death. That's enough for a death. Right guys, we've got to the face. Now, the question I would be, obviously you can't display such a deep wound on the face, but in archaeological records we do see when you've had face shots that it's hit the skull. But remember here we're talking about failed test cuts, i.e. they don't go in so far. To me, the depth that those cuts go in is more than enough to kill someone like this, or at least incapacitate them. Remember, the concussive force of this is going to be massive, with a blade in the face, going down to the skull, probably loss of vision, you know, imbalance and problems with balancing, and most likely the next shot coming in is going to kill you. So a shot like this, a failed attempt on your face, I think is end of days, I think.
Okay, so we've just been trying some different materials. It's been a bit of an experimentation day. Learn how to do quick wounds from a kit bag so you don't have to mould and anything like that. So here I tried the latex one, which I didn't really like the material or the smell, did we? That was the one with the silicone gel, and we really like the silicone gel. It's really quick and easy to use, and that we use with some good old wax. But obviously if he starts to build up a sweat, that wax is going to come off. Yeah.
It's so cute, so pretty. Get out the shot. So if somebody's come in and they've got, you do see it sometimes, people back up the cut, especially in Japanese swordsmanship of course, or even if there's just a wound, a cut has come up and wounded there, that's pretty much, you're going to bleed out there quite heavily and you're going to lose the arm. On the back of the arm, remember, you're just going to lose muscle usage, but here you're going to start hitting proper arteries. Underneath here we've got the femoral artery, and of course we've got the carotid artery. So those, obviously, I don't mean to keep doing it, but those, you know, failed cuts are not failed in the slightest. They are going to kill you. If the person might not be able to get the depth of, you know, this very much static slice through and get the cut, but even with this idea of the pull-push cut, or the push-pull cut, whichever way around you do it, that is going to go deep enough, even on a failed one, to literally bleed you out, as long as they know where they're going to cut. And there are very few people on this planet who don't know where your arteries are. And if you're training in swordsmanship, that's one of the first things you'll learn. So guys, let's remember that it's not a failed cut. Something like this is going to be devastating. Right guys, this time we've gone for a back shot. Imagine the sword, for some reason I've come round, I've had to twist and defend, and the guy's come right in and sliced up, or you know, from behind, whether on the side, it doesn't matter, this is where it's landed. You're going to have a massive problem now. So another cut on top of that is going to cause a lot of problems. But that is a pretty epic cut, that, Claire. That's pretty cool. That's very good. Right guys, so what have we learnt today? What have we learnt? Let's go through it. Basically, there's no such thing as a failed test cut. If it cuts, it passes. It just goes from perfect cut, i.e. decapitation in one, a leg off in one, or straight through a body, which is a perfect cut, all the way down to minor wounds. But it is very, very rare to get minor wounds from a full-on sword blow. Even if the swordman is terrible, even if their skill is useless, whether you agree or disagree with their style of swordsmanship, anybody hitting you with a massive blade is going to cause a lot of damage. So let's get away from the idea that, you know, swordsmanship has to be perfect. All it has to do is hit you. If it is perfect, that's excellent, but it is still very dangerous. Even the worst swordsman is dangerous. It means you would have to block 100% of their attacks. And remember, people can flail and come at you as much as they want, and if you don't block 100%, you're looking at a major wound and a real change to your life. So let's remember, when we're talking about swordsmanship, even the slightest cut is going to hurt the body, it's going to disable the body, it's going to incapacitate the body, and obviously if you get it in the right place, it's going to kill the body. Even with the internet's worst version of a cut, it's still going to kill you, or at least put you down. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you to my sister Claire. guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. My name's Anthony Cummins, subscribe below. Please tell me if you've done any SFX, you've done any prosthetics, you've done any wounds. Let me know below. Tell me about your opinion on soldiership, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.